So I have a message from a client and student from one of my programs. He's gotten good with girls. He's learned about dating and relationships. He's mastered that part of life. But now he's questioning when it comes to his work and purpose. And this is what he messaged me recently. He said, I think the last time we spoke, I was a sophomore. I am now a senior in college, 21 years old, and honestly, it's the busiest I've ever been. I'm taking a full course load. I'm the president of my fraternity. I've got a part-time job. I'm reselling on the side, and I'm doing an internship. So life's pretty stacked right now. And I know that's what it takes to be great, but sometimes I catch myself wondering if I'm spreading myself too thin, like maybe I'm cutting myself short, because I don't want to live a regular life like everyone else. I want more. What do you think about that? Well, I think you're doing pretty good. For 21 years old, you're already farther ahead than most men. You know more things than most men. This guy has watched a lot of my videos. He's staying up to date with my content. He's doing really good with women. He's mastered that part of life. But now he's focused on bigger things. Most guys at this age are just focused on chasing women and pussy because most guys just have to get that out of their system. And it is what it is. But you've gotten past that. And now you're more focused on not trying to be average like everyone else. So the first thing, before I dive deep into uncovering all these reasons why and kind of helping you guys out if you are dealing through this situation or you're trying to question these things, feel like you're behind. First quote I want to share is from David Dita, and it is, you will never be fulfilled by women, work, or money until you're living your highest purpose. And so the reason why you feel this way, despite feeling so busy, is that is your purpose calling. That is your gut telling you that there is more to life. This is a good sign. And just working and doing what everyone else is doing may not be your purpose. And so I think this is good that you are realizing this now rather than later, because most guys don't realize this until much later on. I can tell you right now, bro, you're much farther ahead than most people. First thing I want to talk about is the illusion of progress, because you can stack your schedule with 100 things and still go nowhere. And society will praise you for being exhausted and tired, but not effective. And this is why highly successful individuals are not focused on doing things until they're just tired, but building out systems and automations and building out their life to where it's most effective as possible. So where their time is spent in the areas that pay them off the most. It may not be in money, but in results. You could tell there's two people. There's the people that work really hard, but they stay at the same level of making the same income, dating the same types of women, staying in the same friend groups, versus the people that actually do less but make more of their time. Because we all know, and every successful person knows, that it's not about how much time and energy and effort you put in. It's about whatever the fuck you're getting out in return and trying to find out the best way possible to get those things in return. Because the real flex isn't doing more, it's knowing what your time is actually worth. A self-check for anyone watching this video is you need to ask yourself, are the things pulling you towards the man you want to become, or are they just keeping you distracted from becoming that person? And this is a good question to ask yourself, because there's going to be a lot of things in your life. It may not exactly apply to this guy's life, but to everyone's life, where there are going to be things and people and opportunities that will show up. And a lot of people have this shiny object syndrome where they're constantly jumping to new things, but they can never commit to one thing and actually stay doing one thing. Different things are constantly going to be pulling you in different directions. For example, if you watch the movie The Matrix, it's the woman in the red dress. It's that thing that is always that shiny, bright object that you want to start chasing, but then you can never get one thing done. You can never actually complete what you started. And this is something that I've always struggled with as well, because when you start to become successful, the more people and more opportunities and more women start to come into your life that start to become difficult to say no to at times. Over time, you have to learn how to have self-control. You have to learn how to say no to things. And this is something I had to learn as well. And it takes a lot of time to kind of overcome those urges and those feelings. But at the end of the day, you really have to ask yourself and be self-aware. Is the thing I'm about to do actually benefiting me in the long run, or just making me feel good now? This is a really important question. Another thing is, what are you actually building from all this effort? Okay, because you could be working for someone else all day long, but you're only building what's for them. You're not building anything for you. And so are you stacking skills, experiences, and results that compound, or are you just checking the boxes? See, this is what happens when people stay working the same jobs every single day for, 10, 20 years. After a certain point, you can no longer stack new skills from that job, new experiences, or more results. Now you're just living day to day, checking the same boxes. And this is why men who do these things start to feel lost. They start to feel like there's got to be more to life, and they feel drained of their energy. And there's a reason why. It's because you are being drained of your energy. And you know deep down in your soul and in your spirit that there's more to life. So another thing I want to talk about is direction over effort. Effort without direction is like sprinting on a treadmill. You're sweating, but you're not moving. Okay, this is really, really important. You can focus all your energy in school and on work. And I might be a hater of school and work because as an entrepreneur and as someone who likes to make money myself, I would rather be moving in a direction that's closer towards my goals, that propels me forward for my mission. Now, you might not be someone who likes to be an entrepreneur, and I know plenty of people that just would rather work. However, is that work and the things that you're doing putting you towards or moving you closer towards your end goal mission? Okay, this is the big thing you have to ask yourself, because you may not be an entrepreneur, you may not be a person that actually wants to start your own business. That's completely fine. However, you have to be doing things that are pushing towards that. I even know entrepreneurs as well that are so focused on making money, they do everything to make money, but even then, now they're trapped inside of their business that they created, and it ends up turning into a job as well. So obviously, you don't want to trap yourself in that position. You want to learn how to buy yourself out of the business eventually. But this is where a lot of people get stuck, because greatness comes from intentional direction, not just activity. Okay, you could be doing a lot of exercises, but if you're not doing the proper exercises with the proper dieting and the proper planning and the proper sleep, all the things you're doing gets thrown out the window. Okay, because you could be practicing a move. Let's say in jiu-jitsu, you're practicing a move, but you're practicing the wrong move. You're putting all the strength and effort and putting it into the wrong moves, thinking that because you're training that you are doing something, but then when you actually step onto the mat and you get wrecked by someone, there's a reason why. And this is what happens when guys, especially when talking to girls, they think that the more they do, they think the more they text, the more that they call her, the more that they're there for her. When the time comes, she's going to finally want to get in a relationship with them or sleep with them, and that never ends up happening. And that's for that reason. It's because they're putting all their effort and energy into the wrong places. And sometimes the most alpha move is cutting the things that don't align with your future vision. A big mistake with being the nice guy, people pleaser, or being the average man is it's not that they say no to opportunities, they say yes to too many things that sound easy. They say yes to every single girl that comes into their life. And then they have to realize the hard way that there's a reason why these girls may not be the best for them. Same thing with saying yes to low quality opportunities and people. There's going to be a lot of people that might want to hang out with you, but are they actually helping you build towards your mission purpose? Are they actually helping you get closer to where you want to be? This is something that I always had a struggle with when I was younger as well. I would always say yes to people because I was always trying to be nice. I was trying to fit in with people. I always wanted to be liked. And I would say yes to basically everything. I would start becoming friends with people that weren't really aligned with what I wanted to do in the future. And I just waste time hanging out with these people just because they kept me company. And so I'd say yes to a lot of things on opportunities and women, even though it didn't actually serve me. And this is something that you have to kind of be selfish with. Is this thing actually serving you? At the end of the day, is it serving you, or is it more of serving your insecurities? This is something that you have to be open and honest with yourself about, because if you're not, you're going to learn the hard way very quickly what happens if you feed into those insecurities. And this is why, as a man, you gotta learn how to overcome these things. This is important. Do not allow the idea of feeling busy to trick you into feeling accomplished. There's a reason why you're feeling super tired and worn out, because maybe the things that you're doing is not actually your purpose. And this is why it feels like it's draining you more than actually giving you back in return. So take a step back, get clear on your mission, and then move with precision. I want you to be honest with yourself. Think about where you're going to be in the next 90 days. Are you going to be in the same spot? Are you going to be living the same way? Or are you actually going to be achieving what you want to achieve? Because if you stay doing the same things that you've been doing, you're going to stay stuck. So if you want to get unstuck and you actually want to start getting results, click the link down below.